Hi everyone, it's Donna here, and I would like to show you a journal. Um, this journal is called Ada, and Ada is 5 inches by 7 inches, and she has 68 pages. And the idea for this journal came from a piece of paper that was in a tin of buttons that I got at my local auction house probably a year ago. And the paper said uh, Grandma Ada's buttons. So that's why this journal is named Ada. And when Ada was a seamstress all her life, and when she passed away, her granddaughters were given the opportunity to go through her belongings and pick out some things that they wanted to keep for themselves to remind them of their grandmother. And that is what this journal is all about. The cover of it is a quilt from that Grandma made, and it was on her bed. And Grandma loved laces, loved to use laces in her garments that she made, and there are lots of laces throughout. And of course, buttons from that button box. They had to keep Grandma's buttons because when they were kids, they used to go visit Grandma, and they'd always run to the button box to see if there were any new buttons in there, new treasures. And these Dorset buttons were in the box as well. And the closure is one of the buttons, and on the closure is one of Grandma's spools of thread. And that just wraps around. And the image on the cover is sealed in wax, so it's protected. Now let's take a look inside. In the front cover is a lavender shaker card, and then I've also started including a note from the bookmaker that talks about what this journal is, what it can be used for, that kind of thing. Some beautiful vintage lace. This journal belongs to, on the inside front cover, excuse me, here's a button card. And Grandma had a collection of Victorian trade cards, and her granddaughters kept a few of them. And here's one of them. This one is for J&P Coats thread. Here's a page from one of the patterns that Grandma had, and some of the lace. And this is a picture of Grandma Ada when she was a young woman. Very pretty. Look at that dew. And more beautiful lace down here. This is an image that the granddaughters cut from a series of sewing instruction books that Grandma in her 20s was taking a course in sewing at the beginning of her career. So this is one of the images from those books. A pretty doily from Grandma's coffee table, and a little snippet of slow stitching here. And there's journaling space on the back. This is an envelope made from a page from a cross stitch instruction book. Grandma liked to do cross stitch as well. And in it is just a little booklet with an advertisement for a sewing machine from a Sears catalog. Oops. This is an image from a 1940s Vogue pattern book that the granddaughters kept. Here's another image from the instruction manual, and it's on a seam binding card. And this is a page from that Vogue magazine. Another image cut from the instruction manual. Cross stitch pattern, an image for the manual. And this is another one of the Victorian trade cards. And this one is for a millinery store in Baltimore, Maryland. And tucked behind it is a vintage letter from 1870 from the Singer Manufacturing Company. And of course more vintage lace down here. More from that Sears catalog. This is an image from the instruction manual. And behind it is an advertisement from 1900. Interesting reading is from the Singer Manufacturing Company, and it's how they think the sewing machine changed the life of women for the better. And a magazine that had some instructions on lace. It's just a little dress form that I put a little dress on as a belly band. And another advertisement for a sewing machine. Plenty of place for journaling in here. A page from the Vogue magazine with some lace and some more buttons from the button box. This collage there. And here are two images from the Vogue catalog. And two more images cut from the instruction manual. Excuse me, sip of coffee. This one has the definition of seamstress. And then this one has the definition of sewing. And here are two more vintage buttons from the button box. This one is fabric, covered with fabric. And this one has an emblem of Canada on it. And of course the vintage laces. More lace here. Oops, sorry, hit the camera. This is a pocket made from a sewing pattern. And in it is a card with some of Grandma's laces. Some pretty vintage laces. More from that lace book. And here's the card that was in the button box. Grandma Swearinger's buttons. Ada Swearinger. And this is one of the buttons that was in the box. It was still on the card. You can journal under there. This is a slow stitch piece. And then behind it is a pack of needles. Grandma's needles. Still has the needles in it. Place for journaling. Advertisement of, or image rather, of a bunch of antique scissors. I would love to find some of these. And then behind it is an advertisement from that Vogue magazine about scissors. And then more on the back. Cross stitch images from the book. 1884 ledger page. This is the fortune cookie that's in this journal. Inside this little fold-out envelope is a little fortune. It's the back side of that beautiful doily with tatting around the edge. This wrapper from some seam binding, and in it is an advertisement for dress form. Another image from the instruction manual. This pocket has, this is an image from the Vogue catalog, pattern book. Another of the Victorian trade cards. This one is for Corticelli thread, Corticelli silk. And then some extra buttons that were in the button box. Just some extra buttons and some thread, some mother of pearl buttons. Oops, I got away. Back page of that pattern. And the back of the journal. And tucked into the back pocket is just, this is some vanilla dyed paper and some tea dyed paper that I got in the exchange that I did. And that you can either journal on or you can use to cover up some of the text pages of the book if you like. And this is the back side of the journal, the beautiful quilted fabric. So this is Ada. Ada is for sale. If you were watching this and she is still for sale, the purchase information will be down below in the description box. And an update on tomorrow's video. The update is there isn't going to be one. I will be over at the Defy auction, which is the Disabled Artists Foundation monthly auction, which starts tomorrow at noon Eastern time. So I hope everyone will go over there and check it out. I have a few things that will be up for auction tomorrow. They also did a preview on yesterday, and I'll put a link to the preview down below because during the auction they go really fast. But on the preview, they show things in more depth. And if you watch the preview and you see something that you would like to bid on, but you can't, you're not available on Saturday during the auction, you can send them an email and leave a bid. And they will bid by proxy for you. So that's an option if you can't make it to the auction on Saturday. So I hope to see everybody over there. And thank you for watching this video and for your kind comments on all of my previous videos. I really do appreciate it. Thanks, and bye for today.